今日は、うーん、エクス、影が、そうです、バイリンガルスタイルで、メタルメダカ。Alright, so 今日は何時間令和3年3月、アメリカ時間ではサンフランシスコなんですけど、アメリカ時間では5月の3日、so it's May 3rd, right? Yeah, cool. So, um, here's my like experimental blend. I got this at Daiso ね。ダイソーで買ったやつで、これはなんか、いつ卵を取って外に放置して、あの、気温とかあるから、それのテスト容器。So, this was an experiment. So the Miyukis were laying eggs, and it was pretty cold in San Francisco. Like it's pretty cold. So the temperature I was looking at was like the low I was looking at around 40 Fahrenheit, and then the average high was like 60. So when the temperature was getting to that point, I was like, all right, let me just for these eggs that I have, let me just throw it in a bin and just leave it outside. Right. And lo and behold, man. So I don't know if you could see it. 見えるかなこれは。影ばかりで。難しいんだけど。今日ね、ハリコがね、いきなり出てきた。これはテスト容器で、あの、まあ大体平均寒い朝が5度以下かな。それで、だいたい昼間中に体温が16度。水温はもちろんもう少し上がるんだけど、それで、その時期に取った卵をここにポイポイ入れてて、あのたら、今日、ね、生まれてるじゃん。ハリコいるって感じ。だから、この気温まで待てば、寒い時にまあ4度ぐらい、そしてまあ15度ぐらいまで上がった時に産卵した卵を取れば、なんか自然に孵化した。日数的は、So how many days did it? ちょっと待って。Let me take a ビールをかうまい。That was like the fifth beer of the day. I forgot what I was talking about, but計算か。So how many days does it take for the eggs? So 何日間かかるか。日本の計算だったら250度だから1日平均の体温が1日平均の体温だから250に1日250度割る1日平均の体温1日平均の体温がこれ計算が楽だから10度って言うけどそしたら25日かかるでしょその計算で本当に出てくるだから So here's a calculation how long is it going to take for the eggs to hatch if they are fertilized so you got to convert the Fahrenheit to the Celsius right so let's see let me try to do the math all right so let's convert the Fahrenheit so you got your daily average, right? So get the daily average of the temperature, and then what you want to do is you want to okay daily average of the temperature minus 32 equals you get that number. You times that by 0.55. You got that number. Now, divide 250 with that number that you got. That'll approximately tell you how many days it will take for the egg, if it is fertile, to, turn into these guys. Because these suckers just, well, they weren't here this morning, but typically around like 1 p.m., if they are going to hatch, that's like the time that they are going to hatch. So, and yeah, I don't know what else, man. Again, this is like the test run of the YouTube live thing. Testo de. ちょっともう一杯。乾杯ちんちんじゃよ、おっぱい。All right. So there was, I did get a couple questions like on my Instagram, MedakaMetal, and they were about food and all that stuff. So I don't feed until the water temperature is over 50 Fahrenheit. まあ、10度以上になんなくちゃ、だいたい15度まで待つのかな、餌をあげるのに。But that's because like their digestive system, until like it's 10, so 50 Fahrenheit, they're not going to be able to digest any food. So like I wait till actually like 60 Fahrenheit, it's like 15.15.15度だから、その時にまあ餌をあげ始める。でもしかし日中だから平均がだから5度、一番低くて5度、そして15度以上になった時に餌を与え始めるって感じです。So like going back to the feeding thing, I should make another like video or whatever, but the rule of thumb for me is in the US, like Fahrenheit and stuff, like when the low is 40 and up, and when the high is at least 60, that's when I start feeding. I never feed them when it's below 50 Fahrenheit. They just can't digest the food. So, and this is for like every size, right? So, hariko. Hariko is, that's like, this is day one, right? So day one, day two, they still have the yolk sacs, so they're able to consume the nutrients from their own yolk sac. But after that, you're gonna have to feed them. And like when you have them outside, like you have the green water and whatnot, they're going to be able to take some green water as their nutrients, or they'll find something to eat. Or you just have to, like, after that, I just like have Japanese like hikari baby food that I feed them. やっぱり生まれて食べ始めか、生まれて2、3日は生まれた時のサックがついてるから、それで栄養が十分取れるんですけど、その後はやっぱり与えてあげないといけない栄養だから、外で飼ってる場合はグリーンウォーターの中からいろいろ栄養素を取れる。そしてその後はやっぱりまあ日本だったりいろいろメダカのハリコ稚魚幼魚の餌があるから簡単にいろいろ手に入ると思うんですが、まあ、最初の2、3日過ぎた後はやっぱり栄養がちゃんと渡るものを与えないと餓死してしまうので、っていう感じですね。でもなぜ why am I showing this today, man? I was pretty surprised because again ちょっとビールいっぱい乾杯チンチンじゃよ。ビールを片手にメダ活。 So what was I talking about? So なぜ今日これライブ発信したテストライブを発信したかっていうと、あんな寒い時に卵を取ってまずまあ寒いとやっぱりね、 あの卵もダメだしと思ってたけど、でもちょっと取れたやつをどんどんこのダイソーさんの茶色い箱に入れてた。それで今日生まれたから結構驚いた。結構寒かったからね。結局4度以下の日の朝もあったし、でもやっぱり強いのはあのまあ、弱いのはね、どんどんカビも生えて卵がまあ、孵化もしないけど、まあ、強いやつが生きてくれるって感じで、今日さっき2時に見たら2匹いて、おいおいって思って、そして今さっき数えたら、今こっちアメリカは4時半ぐらいかな、十何匹もハリコがいるから、まあ、だからこれからのちょっとテストとしては、明日どうかなって、今夜またまあ7度ぐらいまで下がるのかな。それで生きてちゃんとこの温度差の変化に耐えられるかなって感じですよね。今水の温度は22度っていう感じなんですよ。このやっぱり茶色い色があって太陽がかかってるから、だからその変化にどう対応できるかっていう感じですよね。So the next challenge right here is the change in the temperature, right? So my experiment here was trying to get some eggs when it was like 35, 38 degree Fahrenheit at the low. Got them, and like I don't know, surprisingly, they just I saw some hariko. Hariko is like right when they're born. They have stages. Medaka has stages, right? So actually, the temperature here in San Francisco is on like 60 Fahrenheit, but the water temperature in here, because it's brown, and because we have it located where the sun is, it's actually up to close to 80, right? So now, since they just spawned today, I just need to make sure that like they are able to survive that like temperature swing, because that's what really gets them. Because right now, I mean, the water temperature is going to be it's pretty warm. It's 80 plus, and then at night it'll probably drop to like what 50 Fahrenheit, and there's this huge gap. So we'll see how they do tomorrow. Around 2 p.m. I counted around 2, and it's almost 5 p.m. in the U.S. It's like there's about 11 or 12. So I'll just monitor them to see if they make it, and it's good data. Like trying to figure out like and understand how the hariko, right, right when they're born from their yolk sacs, they don't have to eat for 2 to 3 days because they have all the nutrients, right, from the yolk sacs that they have. But after that, they got to start like mumbling on stuff. Outdoors, it's easier because you have the green water, and they'll have all these minerals that they could eat it on a day-to-day basis. And after that, you're going to have to start feeding them like powder food, basically, with high protein, probably like 53% and up. I did get a question like, can I feed them baby brown shrimp? It depends on the strain. Like for the Miyuki strain right here, where they are like you're looking for it. My shadow's there. It's not gonna work. So Miyuki's like it's like a blue iridescent like white. It's awesome like looking. Color enhanced foods and krill, any food that has krill, and baby brine shrimp, they enhance the color, meaning like if you like the oranges and the reds, it's good. But for the Miyuki, you're trying to not show the orange. So don't feed them anything with krill, and don't feed them baby brine shrimp, because baby brine shrimp will color them up. So that's just from my experience right here. So I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, and it's just like it's freaking awesome, man. That my experimental bin, out of the blue, I have this hariko. So まあハリコから稚魚、幼魚、若魚、親魚ですよね。The stage 的に so there are stages. So you have the egg. When they're born, they're hariko. I call them hariko for at least 2 weeks. Like if they survive for 2 to 3 weeks, that's what you want to look for. 2 to 3 weeks, okay. They're at their next stage, and then you have the yogyo, and then after that you have the chigyo, and then after that you have the wakagyo. That's when they start producing eggs, and then you have the oyagyo. So there are stages in size and whatnot, but I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube live thing. I don't even know how to check, but looks like there's like one person looking at it. 一人このライブを今日見てくださってる方がいるみたいかな。So, I don't even know how to set this up to see the chat. I don't even know if there's a chat going, but it's all fun and games, man. これも全部だから実験的ですから、最終的には。でもメダカを飼い始めて、ちょっとビールを片手にIf you're at a bar バーにいるあなた、今これ見てないね。ちょっといっぱい今イヤーポッドが水に落ちたから聞こえるかどうかわかんないですが、この鍵がね。Alright。Zoom っていうのはこれ YouTube できんのかな、ライブで。あ、できる。Alright、soマックハローから生まれましたね。Alright、soこれはだからすみません、マックハローさん、テストライブですんで、サンフランシスコのこの温度でだいたい4度ぐらいまで夜は落ちて、昼間が15度以上なんですけど、でも水温が20度まで上がるんで、それでこの卵は2週間前にこのダイソーで買った入れ物にパチパチ入れてて、それが今日見たら昼間1時ぐらいかな、なんかハリコが2匹いた。それでなんか昼過ぎて4時ぐらいになったら十何匹いた。だから強い個体は強いなって、寒いのに。でもまだアメリカのサンフランシスコでは、気温が結構低いんで、今夜も6度まで下がってるのかな。それでこのハリコさんたちがみゆきのその 温度の変化に耐えられるかって感じですね。まあ、そんな感じで感じです。すいません。あ、ズームできるねこれ。So I didn't know like YouTube Live, like you could actually zoom this thing. And then I can't see the comments or anything. I don't know how this works, but whatever. The other thing is like when you zoom a lot, like you don't want to shake because everything is like. So it's a simple live that I just wanted to do today. Huh. Yeah, you could look at their shadows, man. Freaking awesome. So here's another experiment. Now I know what kind of like temperature I'm looking at for the eggs to be properly fertilized and then for them to hatch. And then now we got to see if these haricos, right, newborns, if they're going to be able to handle the temperature fluctuation. Again, in San Francisco today, it's May, right? May 3rd. It's probably going to drop to like 45 in the morning. That's 4.4 centigrades. And then the high temperature is like 60, which is 15.15 centigrades. But the water temperature is like about 20 right now. So we'll see how they'll survive, I guess. But again, this is just like a documentation of Medaka life, right? So, yo, Pinkman style, I miss Breaking Bad. ってことで、日本のメダカの沼さんのように、いろいろ、やっぱり彼のライブとかすごいよね。あれだけライブで知識をバンバンできるから。そう私の知識は、なんかマックヘローさんまた同じ、そうか。そう彼の、ビデオとか見てていろいろなんていうのかな、テストしていけばいいじゃんっていうような考え、それで読んでもネットのことは半分60% 信じない方がいいじゃん。それでなんか興味の持ったことをそれをじゃあテストしてみろっていうそのアティチュードすげえかっこいいっていうかすげえいいっていうふうに思ってメダカ沼さんの、サイトじゃないか、ストリームとか楽しませてもらい今こうやって、テストすればいいじゃんっていう風な考えでロックンロールですよね。やっぱり彼はラン DMC とかなんか好きみたいですけど私はメタルヘッドなんで、どんどん、テストしてみて記録を取ってればいいんじゃないかなって感じですよねと思いました。So man, like this style right here is like I watch this YouTube channel, Medaka Numa, Mr. Rice Fish, Mr. Numa. So like I learned a lot from like watching his videos and whatnot, and his whole attitude is like you could read all this stuff and like I gotta tell you, man, like even he's like more than half of the stuff on the internet is junk. So just try it. Like if you read something and if you think that's, legit, or maybe that's something you want to try, just try it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least you know that it doesn't work. So this bucket right here that I bought at Daiso for like $2 is a bucket that I was just experimental style, just grab an egg instead of putting it in methylene blue and bringing it inside, and just leave it outside and see with this temperature in San Francisco if they're gonna make it or not. Again, they just hatched today, and we'll just have to see if they will survive the fluctuation of the temperature, right? So again, the temperature today, it's probably the low is like 45, the high is 65. The water temperature was pretty warm. It got up to like 79. So we'll see from the 79 with the drop when it gets dark. We'll see how these guys survive. Um, それだけですかね、今日は。This YouTube live thing is like pretty, like, I don't know. This is my second time doing this, but there's no editing involved, which is pretty cool because I've been podcasting for like, I don't know, 13, 14 years, but like the part, like you got to record and you got to like edit and then you got to upload everything, but like there's so many extra steps. But like this YouTube live thing, you basically hit record and you start talking. If you say something that's incorrect, oh well, right? But whatever, like people should not believe more than half of the stuff that they hear on YouTube or the internet anyway. So I figure, yeah. Right, so it's been, what? It's almost 30 minutes. I gotta grab some more beers and whatnot. ちょっとビール切れなんで、今日はこんな感じ。また YouTube ライブ、テスト、1、2、3、第2弾。ビールを片手に。でも、持てるビールが今、もうなくなってしまったんで、今日はここまで。Alright, so we'll see you next time. 乾杯チンチンチャイをおっぱいメダカメタルかな。Right. インスタグラムの方でどうもお会いしましょう。メダカメタル。Right, outs.